Okay, so Peasant's turn 4. This is looking from my side of the table. I took that stubborn knight that was way out in the middle, and I could see his unit of knights errant that was right by the woods. And so I declared a charge and was able to get into their flank, which doesn't give me a bonus or anything, but I'm stubborn 8. I was hoping to kill a couple, and just if I could just stay in combat with them the rest of the game, I would be happy with that. Now I've got a BSB nearby, so I'm stubborn 8 rerollable, so I've got a decent chance of that happening, and yeah, so that's what I did there. Now this battle in the middle is kind of turning epic. I have my Lord character with the Knights of the Realm charging to the flank of his Knights of the Realm, who are tied in with my Grail Relic, who's tied in with his Questing Knights. I also brought in my BSB. The model has now been replaced to that Empire BSB because it's mounted, and now you can see that. I decided to go ahead and get him in there because that gives me an extra combat res, and I was hoping to get a wound or two in charging. And really, more importantly, I couldn't really get him out of the way of a charge from his Pegasus Knights. So that's really why I put him in there. I think in hindsight it might have been better to just move him away from the Pegasus Knights and then plan on fleeing a charge. But even then, I didn't have anything that could charge him next turn, and they'd eventually be able to get him. So I charge in there, I kill one, but he's got the BSB with the War Banner with the Virtue of +1 combat res, and I'm in a load of trouble because this is after combat, and he's stuck with everybody. And if you look at the very top, that's his unit of Knights of the Realm that rallied on his last turn, so they're going to charge into my Knights of the Realm's flank. That Spear Men-at-Arms unit with spears at the bottom tried to charge in this turn and just really couldn't do it, so I just had to move over like you can see. But I don't have any of that combat res in there to help me when he charges in. So this little epic battle in the middle is getting a little bit dicey. There's another look at the table. So he's got his Grail Knights at the top who's getting ready to come back on. His Pegasus Knights are free. His Knights that errant near the woods are tied in with my Stubborn. He's got a unit to the right of the screen. There's a unit to the left that chased down my fast cav over there. They're currently off the board, getting ready to come back on. I took a unit of Men-at-Arms on the left in this picture and took him towards where his Men-at-Arms, where his Knights of the Realm went off the table. I couldn't see it real well, and I wasn't paying close enough attention. I thought by doing that, when he came back on, he would be unable to avoid a charge by me. But that was just a mistake, and one of those that I think if I was in person probably wouldn't have happened. I'm not sure if it really affected much. So, Knights turn 4. Okay, now this battle's starting to get confusing. His Pegasus Knights charge in. They charge my BSB. Grail Relic's still there. My Men-at-Arms in the lower right is not in the combat. On the top right, his Knights of the Realm charge into my Lord-level Knights of the Realm. He still have another unit of Knights of the Realm in the middle, and his Question Knights are on the left. So that is one big battle. This is on my left side of the board. His Knights of the Realm crash into my archers and, of course, wipe them out. My Stubborn guy charged in last turn, couldn't get any wounds. This time we're fighting, and it's just a big pillow fight. We're not wounding either way, going back and forth. He's winning combat every turn, and I'm making my Stubborn roll every turn. So the good news is on his turn he charged in with his Knights, and he only killed one of my Knights of the Realm. So I got incredibly lucky there. His Pegasus Knights, I believe, did 1 wound to my BSB. So I got pretty lucky there with him not dying, and we all stick. So you've got the combat of the ages there in the middle of the board. Now the bad news is if you look at the very bottom, I believe those are his Grail Knights who are lined up to charge on his next turn. So I need to win combat and get the heck out of there in a hurry. That's another look at that battle. That's crazy. So it's just his right, my left side of the board. Peasants turn 5. This battle still rages on. The difference now is I've got 30 Men-at-Arms Spearmen that are now in the battle. So that gives me an outnumber and 3 ranks that I didn't have previously. I think I did have 1 rank, and I think he had the outnumber. So combat res is certainly on my side this time. This is my lone remaining trebuchet. On my side of the table, far right, shot a stone at his Grail Knights, and it veered back 10 inches and came so close. If you look at the template, I almost blew myself up by the wind blowing the rock back on me. And the epic battle had an epic ending. With all the combat res, I beat all 3 of his Knights units. His Pegasus Knights killed my BSB, and so we figured they probably automatically moved forward to be in contact with my Grail Relic. And so the Pegasus Knights and my Grail Relic are still locked in combat. My Knights of the Realm chased down all 3 of his Knights units. So we lost 2 Knights of the Realm units and 1 Questing Knights units. I've got a total of 3 banners with my Lord's unit and 1 banner with the Spearman unit. And we're pretty happy with how that went. That's just another look. Those it looks kind of crazy because he has his Knight models trailing behind mine, showing that I have the banners. That's what that's showing. And of course, nobody's doing any wounds over here. My Stubborn Knight rolls a 7. The bad news is my BSB's not around anymore, so now every turn I'm Stubborn 8, but I don't have a reroll, and so that's getting pretty iffy. So there's another look at the board, the end of Peasant's turn 5. Knight's turn 5. This is, if you're on my side of the board, the far right. His unit that was off the board came back on his last turn and got out of range of my reach. I didn't have anything to do with those guys. They were going to get charged no matter what, so I just stood there and took the charge, hoping that my static combat res can help me out there. It didn't. They died. So in the middle of the table, the Grail Relic is still standing in combat with the Pegasus Knights. His Grail Knights charge him from behind and kill everything except the Grail Relic model itself, and it's down to 2 wounds. And if you look at the dice, I rolled a 9. I was so close to staying. Oh, that would have been just beautiful. But alas, it finally breaks, and he runs it down. He beats me in combat here, and I rolled my Stubborn 8 and rolled 6s, as you can see, so he breaks, they run through the woods and kill the Stubborn Knight. So end of his turn, this is what we're looking at. And this is actually pretty important because now there's only 1 turn left. I don't want to get in combat with him. I mean, it looks like he's obviously has the game, but I've got 4 banners that are going to help me out a lot, and there's no combat that's going to be good for me. So my my Lord unit can't be seen by anybody, including the Pegasus Knight. So they're just going to stand still so he can't charge me on his last turn. And my Men-at-Arms, I don't think I can avoid a charge. So they're just going to turn on like that. So they turn to get ready to accept the charge by the Grail Knights. I've got my general nearby to give them some leadership, and we just hope they hold. So there's another look at the board. This is the unit that came on the board and wiped out my Men-at-Arms. They'll charge the Trebuchet. Obviously, they're going to win that. His Grail Knights charge into the front of my Men-at-Arms. Yeah, Trebuchet's dead, of course. He kills a few of them, but they stand. So there we have it, end of the game. We have he started with 7 regular Knight units and 1 Pegasus Knight unit, and he's down to 4 plus the 1. So he lost 2 Knights of the Realm and 1 Questing Knights, but overall he still has plenty of points on the board. I've lost everything except 1 big block of Men-at-Arms and my General's unit with Knights of the Realm. It's funny, all the units he beat, though, didn't have banners to give you victory points. I do have 4 banners, so that helps a little bit, but it's easily a solid victory for the Knights. So just a great, fun game, especially that big, huge battle in the middle. I think I could have played the Peasants a lot better. I've never done a game like that before, so it was kind of a learning experience. It was also a learning experience with the distance game. So we have a rematch planned, and figured the ringleader lived, my general lived, and so he's rallying support for more peasants, and they're going to come back for another peasant revolt sometime in the near future. Hope you enjoyed it.